get into the video. Love you guys. Imagine if the scariest theory in science, the great filter theory, wasn't a natural disaster. What if it was a phenomenon called the backspace? And what if, right now, it's changing and editing our world? My name is Ari Creates, and I am making a 5-season sci-fi horror called Rebal Park. It follows 6 teens: Mason Conaway, Emmy Presley, Devon Shantz, Nicky Chase, Ellie Romano, Jane Connor, Vicky Smith, Finn and Jace Mercer. So Rebel Park has been in the making for about 3 years now, and originally I wanted it to be like a South Park Class of '09 sitcom type thing, and then I wanted it to be just about like the struggles of being a teenager and like how no one can fit in, like no matter how hard you try. And then I decided to tie it all in with sci-fi because then I watched Stranger Things. I was like in love with the sci-fi part, like the sci-fi horror, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna incorporate that with a show I want to make. And I loosely based Rebel Park off of, well, not loosely, I did base some of it off of The Backrooms, Class of '09, and Stranger Things. So if you like that stuff, you're gonna love this. And then I discovered this random video about space, and I clicked on it because, like, you know, the clip art got me. I was like, I want to watch this because I want to scare the crap out of myself because I hate space. And it was talking about the Fermi Paradox. The Fermi Paradox is like this contradiction between like the high statistical probability of alien life and like why there's nothing out there, like so the lack of it. And in simpler terms, like so basically the universe is like massive, right? It's super old, and statistically speaking there should be alien life. Like it should be loud, but it's completely silent. Like you hear nothing when you go into space, right? The Fermi Paradox goes through, I think, 9 theories. You tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but it goes through 9 theories, I think. And one of those theories is the Great Filter. The Great Filter theory is an explanation for the Fermi Paradox that suggests it suggests a developmental barrier that has prevented alien life from becoming spacefaring. So it's prevented them from maturing enough or like evolution at all. Like they've just been wiped out. Scientists debate if this like is ahead of us or behind us. They think it's ahead of us, which is not good because that means that we're gonna get wiped out. Like, so it doesn't physically wipe us out. It doesn't but we end up reaching a point in evolution where, like, you know, for example, like it could be AI or like it could be a natural disaster that takes everyone out, right? So it's not like the filter itself is a threat. It's more just like that, like, line in maturity where like we all just kind of doom ourselves, right? And if it is behind us, that's a good thing because that means we've passed what most stages have failed to, what most places, like planets, have failed to like pass, which is like evolution and then like maturity and then like technological evolution. But Rebel Park, my show, asks the question that like, what if the Great Filter is ahead of us and it's slowly spilling into our world, but instead of a filter, it's a phenomenon called the backspace. The backspace acts as a phenomenon, and it acts as a thing at the same time because it can sense things. But like by sense, I mean it can sense like corruption in like planets, stars, galaxies, or just like little like nebulas. It can just sense corruption, and it is attracted to that corruption, and it wants to like correct it, if you will. And by correct, I mean like it like warps, it deletes, it changes, like it literally edits that reality. But my idea was like the backspace it doesn't know anything. Like it's a thing, but it doesn't know, like it doesn't have a conscious, right? It kind of just like eats, but doesn't actually eat, right? And since it doesn't have a conscious, it doesn't like know how like those planets work. So when it warps them into like the image it thinks it should be. So like for example, take the sun. If the backspace came across that, it would probably warp it into like this icy, like, so basically like the icy glacier. It basically does the opposite of what it actually is. So when it discovers Earth, it starts making little fractures. Fractures act as like weak points for like that area. So for say you're in like the forest, right? And you're walking around and like you see that like a tree is like upside down. That's kind of like that's how you know it's a weak spot. Or like say you're in an area like where there's not supposed to be any water. So like you're in a building, like you're in a literal building and like you're on the roof and you just see like a weird thing of like water, like a lake of water, like a literal lake on a building. That's the sign of it, because like it's trying to edit the world without a recollection of like what our world is. And it discovered Earth when humans first stepped foot on the planet, right? So it's been around forever. And my idea is like all the weird things that you've seen happen and stuff like that is because of that. So like Bermuda Triangle, Area 51, which is where the backspace first started cracking and the government found it. And they built around it to hide it from people. So that's that. And yeah, and it discovers Earth, so now it's deleting Earth. If you guys have played Fortnite, it's kind of like that. You know how like at the I haven't played it often, but like at the end of the game, right, like you know like that purple mist that like if it gets close to you, like it kills your character, like it deletes the character. That's kind of what the backspace is. It's just invisible. Like you just cannot see it. You can see the effects of it. You just can't see it itself, which makes it scary because you don't know what it is. So it's the summer before freshman year for all these kids. Well, for the main 6. And they live in a small town, Rebel Park, Arkansas. And, you know, it's summer. Mason is chilling, and he goes into the woods one day, and he stumbles across a boy who doesn't look normal. He has, like, shaggy hair. He has vintage, like, clothing, like, you know, 80s clothes. And it's like, how did he get that? You know, maybe, like, from the vintage store next door, right? But no. Turns out to be a missing kid from the 80s. 32 years ago, from 1988. That's the basic like plot of Rebel Park. It's a mix of like nostalgic teen vibes. So, you know, like that dream summer that you've always wished you had. That's this show. That is Rebel Park. It's a mix of existential sci-fi horror, like when reality is literally like falling apart in front of your eyes, like the world's ending. The world's ending, and we're over here still trying to have an amazing summer. Make it through high school. Like, don't know if that's gonna happen. Yeah, I have a whole, like, 5-season arc planned. I'm really excited. I'm gonna keep sharing the development process with you guys, so I'll keep you guys posted on what's happening. It's such an interesting concept. Like, when I found it, I was, like, in love with it. Drop a comment below, like, which part of the backspace concept sounds like the creepiest, like the most interesting. Subscribe, please like and subscribe if you want to know more about Rebel Park. This is primarily what I'm going to be posting about now. I know I've been like all over the place with what I'm posting, and I'm really sorry. I've like been trying to figure out what to do and like what to post. But yeah, thank you guys so much for your support. And like still staying subscribed to me because I know I've been slacking really hard. But yeah, so like and subscribe if you want to keep following my little journey with Rebel Park. Guys, I get to make a show. And it's just me. I don't have a team or anything. It's gonna be so much fun. Love you guys.